Plus TV News Now. NNPC apologizes to Nigerians over toxic petrol, says fuel scarcity to end soon. Burkina Faso coup leader Sandaogo Damiba inaugurated as president. NATO commanders to draw up plans for possible new battle groups in Eastern Europe. Many thanks for joining us on the news now. I am Maureen Menong-Ezigwe. Nigerians have continued to lament the hardship fuel shortage has imposed on their daily living and businesses. This is because the country is yet to provide constant supply of electricity, therefore the much dependence on fuel. Our correspondent Jacinta Obiuku monitored the situation and brought back an update.
Nigerians are still battling with the issues of insecurity, poverty, and now fuel crisis. This is the outlook of some parts of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway axis of Lagos State, while in a quest for an update on fuel scarcity. Lagos is known for incessant gridlock except on holidays. It is worse due to the long queues from filling stations. Motorists are saddened by the situation.
The way there is first scarcity in 2017-18, 2020 when there is a lockdown. We don't know, we can't enjoy anything from government. Why?
This is unforgiving for all the leaders of Nigeria. We're talking about a nation over 200 million without a refinery. We probably have to go back to the likes of Qatar, to the likes of Dubai, nations that are on their knees in the early 70s, late 70s, even early 80s, begging us.
Hope the people here will listen, the people who distribute the fuel, and at least they will do the needful. We don't have to make life difficult for each other. I think they can do better.
In his office, the chairman of the Lagos Zonal Council of National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas, NUPENG, Tayo Abuyeji, hinted about a glimpse of hope.
As at today, all the depots have been loading the right products. Petroleum tanker driver have been working 24 hours to make sure that this fuel is distributed across Nigeria. The IPMAN, the IMB, everybody is working around the clock to make sure that this product gets to the stations and the queue disappear. And I can tell you the next couple of 3-4 days, the queue will disappear because there are enough product in the depot.
He condemned the importation of the adulterated fuel into the country, the beginning of the fuel crisis.
We should make sure that we make our government accountable. The question is, why would somebody bring let me call it adulterated product or whatever he wants to call it? Secondly, why are we even importing petroleum products when we have 4 refineries that's supposed to work and feed Nigeria? So it's absurd.
Kano State has its share of fuel scarcity, while some motorists are lucky to get petrol for either 165 or 200 naira per litre without having to queue for long hours in some petrol stations. Others complained of having to spend more hours at the stations.
So I have to just fill my tank there for 200 naira per litre. That's how, so up till now there are still queues in filling stations and people are finding it very, very difficult to access petrol.
So actually the fuel system is biting us harder because as a few last week we don't get this kind of queue. But for the past 5 days we have been suffering a lot to get fuel. Even as of now my tank is almost empty. So I just pray God that the situation will calm down.
In petrol stations, a litre of fuel is sold at 165 naira per litre but in the black market, they sell a 5-liter gallon of fuel for 1,200 or 1,300 since fuel is now scarce.
Also, Nigerians in Abuja are trying to cope with a week-long shortage of petrol as Africa's biggest economy struggles to end crippling fuel shortages.
Today, I couldn't make anything. Yesterday, today, I'm here. And my family are suffering one way or the other.
Definitely affects all of my plans. It affects even my health, But what do? I have no choice than to go through the hassles.
Jacinta Obiuku, PlusTvAfrica.
The Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mele Kyari, has assured that the current fuel scarcity will be over by next week. Kyari gave the assurance on Wednesday in Abuja while appearing before the House Committee on Downstream and other related committees. The GMD was invited by the House to explain the sudden appearance of long queues at the filling stations in the FCT and other parts of the country and the hardship that this is causing Nigerians.
The recent supply are in excess of this additive, of which it's resulted in consequences, its injuries to our fragile economy and the generality of our citizens.
We know all the trucks that leave our depots, but we do not know where they end up. This is reality. It is not possible. There's no tracking mechanism to enable this. And we also all know that some of these products find their ways to the places that may not be in this country. I don't have statistics to back this up, but we know that smuggling takes place. I'm sure very honorable members, you will agree that this is the reality that is happening.
Emulsification, when you have water and then it's not mixing with methanol, things like this are bound to happen. So what are we doing to remedy this? I know you have stopped vessels from coming in. You have quarantined these ones. If this happens again, Nigerians are likely to, to be angry. So what are we going to do to prevent this going forward? It's obvious there was a mistake here.
Ignorance, which we are all claiming here, cannot be excused that we are saying Nigerians will continue to suffer. Somebody must take responsibility for this. Because if we don't, somebody will say something similar to that in the future. So what I'm trying to say here is that we are going to need a lot of relevant documentation to the fact that you are not aware that such practice took place.
If it is that they already know the specifications which come to Nigeria, why would they send us something that is not meant for Nigeria?
We have said that this product meets our specification. Every test that we need to do, we have done it to make sure that this product meets our specification. And the only good faith, that is what I say, only good faith of your supplier will tell you, or some kind of intelligence information that you have. Otherwise, there is no way you will know that this product will contain methanol.
The committee adjourned but promised to invite the GMD after speaking with the 4 major marketers indicted for importing adulterated fuel into the country. Oil marketers in Nigeria have resolved to start blending the over 100 million liters of adulterated petrol imported into the country over 2 weeks ago. The nation's public relations officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ukadike Chinedu, confirms that some retailers in Lagos have started blending the adulterated PMS with clean fuel. He, however, noted that many filling stations are yet to get new supplies that will be enough to blend the adulterated products. We are now being joined by Mr. Chinedu Kadike, PRO, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. Mr. Okadike, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Now, I understand that it is the NNPC that has the blending plant that can blend fuel, and clinically too. Why then is the Independent Marketers Association going into the blending of these products when they do not have the wherewithal to do so?
Okay, if you listen to the GMD of NNPC, it has shown that their tracking device or tracking records cannot be able to show where some of these petroleum products have gone to. And also remember that he said that some of these petroleum products might have gone out of control. So, like I said before earlier on, that up to now, we have not had any interface with the management of lithium scrap. To be able to access to be able to bring our data of the some of the systems that are connected that have this associated product. Now, we are talking about our capital here that has been tied down for a very long time, and some of these systems have close to 120 to 160,000 liters of this associated product, or contaminated product, you know. And as independent marketers, we are service oriented, we are also profit oriented, in as much as the government regulates the profits we have. So we can't just not sit tight and watch Nigerians suffer. We also have to resolve by the national president, who also opportuned, Alaji Ahmed Debo, who also opportuned that marketers should see how they can be able to help federal government come out of this. So some of our marketers in Lagos have experimented this thing by adding some fresh products into it to see whether they can be able to blend, since it contains excessive ethanol and sulfur. So, and some of our marketers in River State and Imo State and Delta State have also tried as much as possible to see whether they can bring in fresh fuel so that they can be able to blend this petroleum product. And some of them, it worked out for them, and it doesn't work out for some. So the thing is that we are deadlocked. Supposing it works out like food that have worked out. One of the ways that it doesn't work out, because that product remain in that station and the station be quarantined, and this will continue to cost. So as patriotic Nigerians, and also having a vision, a president that has vision, they decided to say, okay, let us see how we can be able to help to come out of this lockdown, because people are doing panic buying. And because of this thrift, this cut chains of supply, it has affected the queues in the situation. So, and the thing is coming to the test. But right now, this evening, was private depots are now losing, and with this, I think we'll get a little bit relief.
All right, so how safe will this blended product by the marketers be for consumption?
Well, they said the product has excessive ethanol, and that means it is not blended properly. So, and those who have also done that have also seen that have experimented it, that it also moves. So it doesn't need any chemical combustion to be able to ensure that that product maybe moves. So the people that have done something already have testified that it's working. So we also
working, but I understand that they do not have the testing machines to determine that. So how can they verify certainly that it is okay?
Yeah, we don't have the testing machine to verify that, but we'll have to also resort to self-help. When you are in this kind of lockdown, your stations will have seen that help is not coming to the market. What do we do is to develop another means to see how we can be able to. Although some of us have also written to the authorities to also tell them that we have located this product in some filling stations and are also happy waiting for them to. So we can't just put our hands. We have to do something. We have to. We don't have the equipment in as much as one of our sisters association has also tried to acquire some of the equipment. But we the independent marketers, we don't have something. And we must have to do something so that we can also remain.
Yeah, the predicament of the independent marketers is very clear to all. And one understands the need to do something, as you keep repeating. And that also makes one wonder, what is the NNPC doing as the gatekeeper, so to speak? What are they doing?
Well, the conversation my national president have with the top management of NNPC, I think we also suggested that they should try as much as possible to see whether they can be able to push products inside to the inland depots, you know, and those NNPC inland depots will also help, because these are depots that independent marketers solely depend on. And the kind of problem we're also facing in some of our private tank farms is that the products are not even sold at the government stipulated price. Most of the tank farms owners are selling their products at 165 naira per liter, 167. So how can independent marketers sell at 165 when government stipulated rate is 165? So these are problems we are facing. And I've also asked the managing director of PPS to ensure that products are being pushed to some of our inland depots, where NNPC has sole control of this product and can be able to distribute it to independent marketers who can go to the public and sell. So if this thing continues like this, it means that you might not be able to get your product at that was government stipulated rate. You might be able to get your product at 175, 200. So, and marketers must be in this. That is the essence of it, because this lockdown is not for the benefit of everybody. We cannot be able to put our hands and see marketers and Nigeria suffers stay in long periods for it.
Wow. One is not sounding, well, let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that. It is a very unpleasant situation that we find ourselves as it is, right?
Yeah, very, very unpleasant. Very, very unpleasant because there must be a backfall. There must be a reserve. You know, when something like this happens, you look at the policies of government that they have imported 300 million liters. Imported. It's not that we are even falling back to our reserves where, you know, to be able to augment this. Nigeria should have a reservoir where millions of petroleum products should be stored in case we have this kind of stuff.
And without a doubt, making our refineries functional is the best solution to all of this.
The best to make it a competitive environment where modular refineries will be encouraged to establish modular refineries. Our refineries should be working. You will say we can even export. Why can't Nigeria export petroleum products? Since we have crude here, locally sourced. So, and we are losing employment, we are losing value, we are even our naira are depreciating and high cost of living. These are the chain reactions of petroleum products. And that is why you see sometimes when this kind of thing happens, you see Labour, you see NUJ, you see TUC on these issues, just to ensure that Nigeria doesn't suffer the repo reactions of
Thank you so much, Mr. Chinedu Kadike, the PRO of IPMAN, for your time again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
The House of Representatives on Wednesday did a test run on the electronic voting device ahead of Constitution Amendment voting. Speaker of the House, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, stated that the House would ensure the effectiveness of the machine before the day of voting. The test was to avoid any confusion in the course of voting on highly contentious issues.
Ingredients of that constitutional democracy is to be able to determine for the people back home that we represent, whether we're protecting their interest or we're voting in their interest or not. So the voting, electronic voting, is not just about the numbers, it's about the record and the pattern of voting. And one of the essential ingredients of that constitutional democracy
The House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Reformatory Institutions to investigate the alleged deplorable state of inmates. They are also to investigate the unwholesome work condition of officers and men of the Nigeria Correctional Service. The motion was sponsored by the House Minority Leader, Honorable Ndudi Elumelu, on the matters of urgent national importance at plenary on Wednesday. He is a federal lawmaker from Delta State. Honorable Elumelu noted that the condition of most of the service's facilities are still in poor state despite the huge budgetary allocation to the service. He further noted that
the National Correctional Service Act is worrisome and requires immediate attention. The House therefore resolves to mandate the Committee on Reformatory Institutions to investigate these allegations and report back to the House within 8 weeks.
The Minister of Education, Adamu, on Wednesday, said he's willing to reach an agreement with the striking university lecturers. He, however, said he was surprised that the lecturers could decide to embark on industrial action when the federal government was addressing the issues they have raised. ASU President Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke had on Monday declared a one-month warning strike. And students of the University of Benin, in their numbers today, blocked the ever-busy Benin-Lagos road as vehicular movement was halted for hours. The students said their action was to send a message to the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, see to the demands of ASU. They, however, warned that if the issue of strike were not attended to, they would mobilize students across the country and shut down the nation.
The money spent on 2015 election, is it too big to be met? No. The money for renovation of the National Assembly is even more than the demand of ASU. Yes. The quality of education in Nigeria will improve if the federal government improves the quality of salary paid to our lecturers. It is the welfare of lecturers that they are asking of. ASU is demanding what is their entitlement. It is a right, not a privilege, and they are demanding for it. And we are in support of it because when they get it, they will impart in us the right knowledge. This protest too will take another dimension. We will make sure that every road in Benin is blocked. There will be total lockdown without quarantine.
We are only here because this is a federal road, and this is the only way. When we do these things, they will be forced to listen to the academic staff. They know that we are feeling it because over some time now students have not intervened in issues like this. This is the first time that students are coming out boldly to protest against the actions of the federal government.
It's appalling to see that our education system is, what are we asking for? Federal government meets ASU's demand. It is 13 years now. 13 years. What are we doing? Federal government meet ASU's demand. Now we want to use this medium. We are calling on all federal universities and their students to come out in mass and make sure our voice is heard.
A lockdown without quarantine. Well, away from ASU problems to another story in Ondo State, where the operatives of the Ondo State Security Network, Amatokun, say they have successfully arrested about 350 invaders in the state in the last 3 months. Commander of the Corps, Adetunji Adeleye, disclosed this after the command intercepted a trailer containing 63 persons. 25 motorcycles and rams were also intercepted in Akure North local government area of the state. Adeleye said the operatives intercepted 63 men being transported in a trailer loaded with motorcycles and about 30 rams from Jigawa State to Ondo State. He said after profiling the suspects, they claimed they were directed to come to the state by a yet-to-be-identified person.
Found out that most of these motorbikes were actually stolen from Lagos State, taken up there and brought back. Again, all these youths that are coming, majority of them claimed they've not come to Ondo State before. They were just put in the truck, and some of them claimed they were on their way to Lagos, but they have not been to Lagos before. How they now came about this, out of these 25, 10 of them have valid papers. 15 of them have fake or no papers.
The Lagos State government is set to launch a new resident identification card. It comes with new and improved features that allow users board a ride, make purchase, apply for loans, among others. This was disclosed by the General Manager of Lagos State Resident Registration Agency, Dr. Ibilola Kasumi, in an interview with PlusTvAfrica in Lagos. Our correspondent, Love Ikukoyedoko, tells us more in this report.
Lagos State plays a pivotal role in the Nigerian economy and as the nation's commercial nerve remains the focal point of economic activities. The state government estimates the population at 17.5 million, although the National Population Commission of Nigeria puts the population at over 21 million in 2016. With an ever-increasing population, the introduction of the new resident identification card couldn't have come at a better time than now.
Why we're doing this in Lagos State is so that we can plan adequately. So we take your demographic data, that's taking all your bio data, your name, gender, and just identify you and give you a unique identification.
She described the project as first of its kind in Africa. She explained that the card came with 28 outlets, including banks, shopping malls, and the like.
Eases your access to government services. So right now we're speaking with other government agencies, like the Lagos State Health Insurance Scheme as well. That would have an applet on board. The pensioners would have their unique identification as well. So it helps the government to identify people that deserve or require benefits. So you can use it for payment in any place where they're using the POS, on any POS terminal.
However, the new resident smart card does not invalidate the old Lazaro card.
There's a validation portal where you can go to, and once you click on the validation portal, there's a guideline on how you can update your records. So what we want is for proof of life, we need to know that you're still in existence, one. Number two, you need to update your records because certain information may have changed about you.
Kasimu said residents can register for the new cards at any of the 57 local governments and local council development areas of the state. She also disclosed that the government has also partnered 16 private sector companies to make the exercise faster and more seamless. The first set of the cards is to be launched by the end of March 2022 in Lagos State. Love Ikuku Oyedoku, PlusTV Africa.
A 7-corps member in Iru LCDA Lagos has empowered 40 youth in her skill acquisition program. The areas of focus were fashion designing, hairdressing, barbing, makeup art, and the like. It was a week training for the participants. PlusTV Africa's correspondent Destiny Momo has more.
Economic realities and the challenges of the work world now demand more than academic knowledge. Our teeming unemployed youth can certainly change their fortunes with marketable skills. Perhaps this was the motivation for Janice Akpobaro, a 7-corps member in Lagos, to embark on skill acquisition training for youth as her personal project. In all, 40 participants were taken through different trainings for a week. Fashion designing, makeup artistry, hairdressing, barbing were some of the areas of focus.
I'm so honored that I can actually make this great impact into the lives of my fellow youths.
At this graduation ceremony, beneficiaries were grateful for knowledge received in skill acquisition.
I would say a big thank you to Janice Akpobaro for all the good things she has been doing for us.
I'm so happy for this training since right from the day one of these acquisition skills.
The NYSC state coordinator and others were impressed by this move from a 7-corps member.
It is what you have learned here, and you impart in yourself, and you work it out for yourself. These days, there's no one corner. These are the things that are excelling.
I recognize Ms. Janice Akpobaro, an alumnus of the college. She graduated in the Department of Food Technology and currently is serving a national dear nation.
Joy that we are witnessing this epoch-making event, which is coming from a heart that considered the needs of people in the society.
Janice Akpobaro and other facilitators spoke on the importance of this journey and her personal gain in acquiring a skill so early in life.
When I was in Yabatech, I was also using my skill to make money for myself.
Put in all my best to teach them makeup. I didn't only teach them makeup, I introduced them to products and I also taught them how to tie gele perfectly.
After I finished teaching this person bridal hairstyling, she taught other students.
I went to Oniru community and I also went to Boni camp. That was where I was able to meet them. And then I spoke to them about this project, and they were so interested. In fact, a lot of them were not even in school. Like some were actually dropouts, that's what I mean. And then some actually came from the north.
Invariably, these beneficiaries have been set on a path to self-reliance. Hopefully, they'll continue to hone these skills to carve a niche for themselves in their future endeavors. Destiny Mama, PlusTvAfrica.
The Nigerian Conservation Foundation has taken its sensitization on waste to wealth to schools and community members of Sire Igomo Relay in Lagos. The representative of NCF, Abidemi Balogun, harped on attitudinal change to waste as the aim of this project. The report.
I have my material. I wrap it around 2 fingers like this.
This sensitization program is simply
Environmental sustainability as part of the Wando Foundation Clean Our World project. The main aim of this training is attitudinal change towards waste management. We want them to know that the waste is not wasted until it is totally wasted. So we believe that with the way this empowerment program is going, we are empowering the community members, and it will also come as a source of livelihood for them if they begin to take this, if they embrace it and start doing it, and then probably training other people.
Beneficiaries of the waste management training commend the move, expressing their impact so far.
By gathering the nylons in the school compounds, it will make the school compounds to be neat. There will be no littering of nylon around the school. And also, since then that you can last, we have started teaching the children how to make use of nylon to produce the yarn to knit. So the children have started picking up. So if they were able to pick it up, that one also will make them to be useful even in their compounds.
We were trained how to use plastic waste to make stood. We were trained how to use plastic, broken bottles to make a design, how to use plastic waste to make a flower decoration in your house, which all the parents at least have been doing and snapping and sending the pictures to us on the platform.
With this sensitization, perhaps this is the beginning of the end to the menace of plastic and other physical waste on land and in seas.
On Street Views, Nigerians react to the plan by the federal government to spend 201 billion naira to clean up the bad fuel imported into the country.
Well, the country needs fixing itself. So if they're using 200 and whatever billion to fix dirty fuel, how did it get into the country, number one? How did the dirty... They're not giving us names. To start with, they're not giving us names. Who imported those fuel into the country? How did the fuel... And so how they knowing what they want to fix? They should just tell us that they want to use this money for another corruption deal. And after they will tell us that, oh, they are probing these people. See, Nigerians, we are tired of all these people. We are tired of this government. That is why we need to come out and vote the right person this time around. Thank you.
Number one, our country is corrupt. So now what are we going to do about the corruption? We need to fight the corruption because from the top, the corruption started. So where then you are crying for the fuel problem, I don't see anything big deal because when a time of election like this, you must have one thing for this country to hold it on it, to make sure they're going to take that one to punish other people.
There are so many other things federal government can do. I think the marketer who brought the contaminated fuel to the country, they are still there. They are the people that are supposed to be responsible for all this cleaning. Even all the engine that this adulterated fuel are spoiled, it is marketers, it is people, whether it is NNPC or marketers, private markets that brought the fuel to the country. These are the people that are supposed to clean all those things. The 201 billion naira the federal government said they want to use for this now, I don't think there's any, I don't think it makes any sense.
Okay, the federal government using the sum of 201
1 billion naira to clean up the dirty fuel importation, to me, is a fraud. It's a fraud. It's a kind of trying to monopolize the oil sector.
It's a good thing. I support that government, but that money, say they go take and do that thing. Nobody say they don't talk and now. They don't go see what they take and do. They want to go. They want to do them. It's good.
Still ahead, Somali militant attack leaves 5 dead and 16 hurt. Details when we return.
This is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on PlusTvAfrica.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on PlusTvAfrica as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Life can be fun and rewarding, but it also comes with some risk. As in business, you win some, you lose some. And that's why you need to be wise in the choices you make. It's like placing a bet. Again, you need to be wise. Wise in choosing an innovative platform with the highest market options and highest odds ever. That's why Winners Golden Bet, the leader in online, in-shop, virtual, and live sports betting, gives you enhanced platforms that offer you the best chances of winning. For betting on live soccer matches, live dog races, and virtual games. Winners Golden Bet is your best bet. Instant payment of winnings guaranteed. Play online or in any of our numerous shops nearest to you.
Hey guys, be wise. Play on Winners Golden Bet.
Winners Golden Bet, the wise choice.
How can we have peace without justice?
Plus Politics. It's not just another political conversation, it's about keeping you in the know. The relevant interviews, asking the tough questions to those that matter. Get the answers you need. Does it mean that the people who were injured, people who were shot at, those who were involved in that stampede are not going to get justice?
It is unfortunate, it is sad that we have a government of deaf and dumb.
Analysis from top experts.
The last election was not really an election.
We feel that Obasanjo has a very special place in his heart for hating Ijaw people.
I think it really boils down to two things. One, trust and accountability.
Plus Politics, every weeknight at 7 p.m. on PlusTvAfrica.
In raising our kids, parents should stop playing God.
The internet is actually using the people.
But when you are looking for money to help other people, then it becomes easy.
Don't rush into marriage. I always say this. You rush in, you rush out.
Family is the bedrock of every society and the essence of life.
On Today with John and Helen,
We dig deep into family values in every sense of the word.
Join us every Saturday at 9:15 a.m. on PlusTvAfrica, DSTV channel 408.
With you, we play a part in strengthening the values passed from generation to generation.
Welcome back. You're still watching news now on Plus TV Africa. A gun and bomb attack in Mogadishu, Somalia's capital, in the early hours of Wednesday left 5 people dead and 16 others wounded, Somalian media reported, citing the police. Details in this report.
This is the devastation after al-Shabaab militants attacked several police stations and security checkpoints in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, early on Wednesday, according to officials and the militants. The attacks came as indirect parliamentary elections are held. Elections for lawmakers are currently due to be completed on February 25th. State TV reported that at least 5 people, including children, were killed in the attacks. Mohammed Abdi recalled the moment the attacks hit.
We were asleep when we were woken up by a huge explosion and gunfire coming from the Kada police station, and we were shocked. Our house was also completely destroyed in the explosion.
A spokesperson from the militant group said fighters hit government targets in 4 districts in the capital and another area on the outskirts. He said the militants overran government bases and seized military vehicles and weapons. It was not immediately possible to verify those claims. Speaking shortly after the attacks, a Mogadishu police spokesperson said security forces were exchanging gunfire with the militants. He did not give further details. The al-Qaeda-linked militants carry out frequent attacks against the government and last week attacked a minibus carrying election delegates.
Burkina Faso strongman Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Damiba was inaugurated as president on Wednesday. This is just over 3 weeks after he led a coup to topple elected head of state Roch Christian Kapore. In a televised ceremony, Damiba swore an oath before the country's top constitutional body. He swore to preserve, respect, uphold and defend the constitution as the nation's laws and a fundamental act of key decisions approved by the junta. Tigrayan fighters deliberately killed civilians and gang-raped dozens of women and underage girls in 2 towns in Ethiopia's Amhara region last year. Amnesty International said this on Wednesday, the latest example of the horrific toll exacted by the 15-month war. The rights watchdog interviewed 30 rape survivors, some as young as 14, and other victims of violence to draw a picture of the atrocities in the Chena and Kobo in August and September. That's after rebels from the Tigray People's Liberation Front seized control of the towns. Nearly half the victims of sexual violence said they were gang raped. And Mali has defaulted on more than 53.99 billion CFA francs and in interest and principal payments since January due to regional sanctions. Data from the West Africa Monetary Union's debt agency showed on Wednesday. The default highlights Mali's worsening economic situation due to severe sanctions. These include border closure and financial restrictions imposed on the country by the regional bloc over the delay of election by the country's military junta. The data showed Mali missed payments on interest on treasury bonds on 4 occasions since the end of January. It also missed a February 10th deadline to pay the principal on a treasury bond, a note from the debt agency to investors says. The EU and African Union leaders will meet in Brussels on Thursday at a 2-day summit to discuss Africa's economic development, vaccine independence, energy transformation and security. The meeting will be held for the 6th time on February 17th to 18th, exploring opportunities for renewed and deeper partnership. The summit will focus on the economy and discuss the Africa-Europe investment package that includes global challenges such as climate change and the current health crisis. The previous EU-Africa Union Summit was held in Ivory Coast on November 29 to 30 of 2017. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky flew to Western Ukrainian Rivne training ground on Wednesday to inspect military drills of Ukrainian land forces. The drill, part of Command Staff Exercise Zametil 2022, focused on practicing the management of land force deployment during combat operations. Colonel Andrei Melnik, one of the commanders at Rivne training ground, said the troops practiced with a wide range of weapons. Hanna Melia, Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister, said the exercise proved full readiness of the Ukrainian armed forces. Russia denies this, but has said it would take unspecified military action unless its security demands are met. NATO has tasked its commanders to work out details for a deployment of battlegrounds to the alliance's southeastern flank. That's in response to Russia's military buildup on Ukraine's borders, Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said on Wednesday. Maritime workers begin strike March 1st, vow to ground port operations. Well, that's in business after this short break.
And in business news, workers in the maritime sector under the aegis of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria have concluded plans to ground port operations of the International Oil Companies, IOC, over what it's described as their non-compliance with the extant stevedoring regulations. As a result, the union said it would embark on an indefinite industrial action against the IOCs effective March the 1st, 2022. A statement jointly signed by the union's president, General Adewale Adeyonju, and the Secretary General, Felix Akingboye, accused the IOCs of failing to allow stevedoring companies access to their platforms to commence operations. And Nigerians' balance of payment account has hit a surplus of $3.68 billion in the third quarter of 2021 after enduring recurrent account deficits in the past 10 quarters. Data collected from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, reveals Nigeria recorded its first current account surplus in almost 3 years, as the combination of an increase in net foreign trade balance, diaspora remittances, and decline in fund outflows resulted in the net balance. The current account balance represents a significant increase compared to the $427.37 million deficit recorded in the preceding quarter. And oil marketers in Nigeria have resolved to start blending the over 100 million liters of adulterated petrol imported into the country over 2 weeks ago. The nation's public relations officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ukadike Chinedu, said some retailers in Lagos have started blending the adulterated PMS with clean fuel. He, however, noted that many filling stations are yet to get new supplies that will be enough to blend the adulterated products. And the Ogun State government, in partnership with the federal government, has commenced the distribution of Free Corporate Affairs Commission CAC certificates to over 6,500 successful micro, small and medium enterprises. The state governor, Dapo Abiodun, said his administration's genuine commitment to providing economic support to MSMEs made the state key into the federal government's survival fund towards increasing productivity and output of micro enterprises. He called on the beneficiaries to seize the opportunity to educate and encourage other business owners around them to key into the policy. And that's business news. Thanks for watching. I am Destiny Momo.
Thank you, Destiny. And entertainment news is up next.
The family of a woman killed during filming of the Western roast filed a wrongful death suit against actor Alec Baldwin and others on Tuesday. They are claiming they disregarded several industry-wide practices meant to keep movie sets safe. The suit was filed in Santa Fe County, New Mexico, on behalf of Matthew Hutchins. Panish said Baldwin bore a significant portion of liability because it was holding the weapon that killed Hutchins. The attorney showed an animated recreation of what he believed happened inside the church where actors were filming when the shooting occurred. He said he did not believe the weapon was defective. Alina Hutchins was killed and director Joel Souza was wounded when a gun Baldwin was using during a rehearsal fired off a live bullet. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences decided to return to its host-having tradition with not one, but three of them, Wanda Sykes, Amma Schumer, and Regina Hall, are going to host the event, which is set to take place on March 27th. This is after much speculation about whether the Oscars would go hostless for the fourth year in a row. The Academy also recently revealed a new component to the annual event to encourage fans to join the moment. Twitter users will be allowed to vote for their favorite 2021 film, leaving the door open for films shot out of the nomination to be recognized on the Oscar stage. Kanye West's former lover, Julia Fox, has revealed that she was never in love with him. In a now-deleted post shared via her Instagram stories, the actress said she was never in love with the rapper. Why not see me for what I am, which is a hustler, a number one hustler? I came up yo lol, and not only that, but Kanye and I are on good terms. I have love for him, but I wasn't in love with the man. Jesus Christ, what do you guys think I am, 12 years old? She wrote. The billionaire rapper and Fox started dating in January after weeks of speculations about their relationship.
And it's time for sports. The best in sports with Mikhail Tinubu.
Hello and welcome to Sports News on Plus TV Africa. Former U.S. Olympic figure skater Adam Rippon today, February 16th, said Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva's participation in the Beijing Games after having tested positive for a banned substance was a complete slap in the face for clean athletes. Rippon, who won bronze with the United States in the team event at the 2018 Pyeongchang Games, said he believed the decision by sport's highest court to allow the 15-year-old to compete after testing positive for the banned angina drug trimetazidine was unfair to other competitors. Valieva, who finished first in the short program on Tuesday, February 15th, tested positive at her national championships on December 25th, but the result was not revealed until February 8th, after she had already competed at the Beijing Games in the team event. She will not face a hearing for her doping charge until well after the end of the Games. Olympic officials will not award the medals until the doping case is resolved.
This situation is super unfortunate, and it's also unprecedented that someone with a failed doping test is allowed to compete in the Games. It's a complete slap in the face to every single athlete who comes here and competes clean. You know, on the flip side of it, it is so heartbreaking that there's a 15-year-old girl in the center of this. It is so not fair to her, but the people around her completely failed her. That they find 3 different substances, one of them illegal, in her system, illegal in competition in her system. It just shows that, like, it really makes you think, and it makes you question everything that the ROC is doing here. It's insane that asymptomatic COVID positive athlete isn't allowed to compete, but there are athletes here with positive drug tests. And again, a shame. This is a child. This is a child. We can, really sit back and watch this and go, this shouldn't be happening, but we should be looking at the people around her.
Giannis Antetokounmpo dropped a season-high 50 points as the Milwaukee Bucks got back to winning ways with a 128-119 victory over the Indiana Pacers. The Greek Freak displayed his two-time MVP winning best, notching the third 50-point game of his career and his first since Game 6 of the NBA Finals in July. Milwaukee had lost their previous two games against the Portland Trail Blazers, which Giannis missed through injury, and the Phoenix Suns.
Baseline take, missing everything. Bobby clears. Leaving the break. Here comes Giannis. Full steam ahead!
Here, staying healthy is critical. And I know there's things they want to tweak, and they're working on it. And that's one of them right there. But see, I would say to him,
Field from up top. He's had a little bit of the hot hand. Not there that time. Rebound here to Giannis, who finds Jordan slams it home.
Well, that's how you beat that tough half-court full of length defense. You get out of it.
Egged him into that one. And the officials into that one. Back up. Over to Giannis. Off the glass. Giannis crossover. Look out. There's that finger roll. Giannis make eye contact to give it off to Chris. Here comes Giannis. Look out. Chris.
That's a good bounce. A great bounce back to Buddy Hield.
Giannis is going to take this shot. He pulls, fires, hits. 50-piece for Giannis.
Devin Booker and Chris Paul led the Phoenix Suns to a sixth straight victory by beating the Los Angeles Clippers 103-96 on Tuesday. Booker scored a game-high 26 points, with Paul adding 17 points and 14 assists as the All-Star duo pushed the Suns' NBA best record to 47-10. A pair of Luke Kennard three-pointers and a dunk by Reggie Jackson gave the Clippers a brief 90-88 lead in the fourth quarter, but the Suns were clutch down the stretch as Paul and Booker combined once more, with Mikal Bridges firing home a crucial three-pointer in the final minute.
40 assists and only 7 turnovers. They force a turnover here. Paul gets it organized. Here's Booker behind the back. Bridges, a two-handed jam.
Yeah. That first one was way off. Second one's in and out. The third one will go in.
Well, that was his three-point shooting contest at the All-Star Saturday. And he gets loose, and that is as pure of a stroke as it gets.
You can shoulder, very efficient.
Well, that's the news now. For more stories, please follow us at PlusTvAfrica on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica and PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. I am Maureen Menon-Wezigwe. Thanks for watching.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Tea Time, the entertainment show that gives you proper insight to all the entertainment topics. I am Kofo. With me today is Ellie. What's up with you, Ellie? How are you doing?
I'm fine, and I've told you people 1 million times it is Elile. It's not an English name. I don't know why everybody thinks it's an English name.
Wait. Where are you from?
I'm from Delta State.
Okay.
Today is another history lesson.
No, wait. Okay, so it is Elile. What's
yes, it's short
Elile?
for Elilojo. That's God's favor.
Okay, God's favor.
So it's just Elile.
I should say Elile, not Ellie. But I think I like Ellie.
Do not like it.
So how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing very fine. I'm doing great.
You look so beautiful this morning.
Thank you. It's
How's
what
your
we
night?
share in common.
How's your night?
It was fine, but I think the fear of entering into traffic, I woke up 1 million.
You see, this whole Lagos traffic
I woke up
of
1
a
million
thing.
times.
Wow, this whole Lagos.
I think the traffic is way more now, and well.
Yeah, it's just a cheap money, right here in the studio. Guys, you can join in the conversation by calling 0909-8408-408 to share your opinions on trending topics. And today we're going to be discussing really amazing topics and trending stories with you guys. So you know how we do it. We bring you trending videos. Let's take a look at our first video of the day.
It's your boy Easy. Are you ready? If you give your heart, I know where I no go do you, basa basa, baby, trust me. When you give your heart, I no go let you go. Where I no go do you, basa basa, baby, trust me. I go do your body like skin tight. Where I go do by your side. 10 times when I no get to sneak out. You did by my side. It's your boy Easy. Are you ready? If you give your heart, I no go let you. Where I no go do you, basa basa, baby, trust me. When you give your heart, I no go let you go. Where I no go do you, basa basa, baby, trust me. I go do your body like skin tight. Where I go do by your side. 10 times when I no get to sneak out. You did by my side.
Like, is just so much of a lover boy.
I
can't
love
stop blushing.
Yeah, I love their relationship. It's so beautiful.
It's different.
It's soft. If
Do you
I'll call it that, it's
understand?
just wow.
Wow.
You know, the kind of love that you want is just, well, they're very popular, but they're not in our faces. Well, when they want to be in our faces, they are so in our faces, and it's so cute to see. It's lovely to see. I think beyond being, you know, Otedola's daughter, their relationship is actually
so
pretty nice. I don't think it actually rubs off. Well, of course, we go on social media, we talk, you cannot break up with her. You know, all those talks, but
obviously
he's actually doing so well,
I know,
in my own
right?
opinion. So I love their relationship.
Like, I don't know, there's just